What up? What up? What up, people? It's your boy here, and we are now live. I'm hoping that the connection is going to do very well. We will find out shortly. Anyways, wanted to come on here talk to you guys about a few things. Main thing for me was being able to talk about some of the good things that we're looking forward to when it comes to 2023 for a lot of these college football teams. One of the biggest things, of course, is recruiting. We all love the recruiting classes. We all love just what is to come or what is to happen for a lot of these teams. What freshmen are going to make an impact? What freshmen or redshirt freshmen from last year or whoever's going to make an impact this coming year for that team, this team. And so, anyways, I just figured, you know what? We'd go through a few teams and kind of call out a few areas that each team needs to work on. And felt like we could do that together for a few minutes. But biggest thing to me that I want to start out with, I look at Texas. Texas and Texas A&M have a crap load of talent on their teams. Texas bringing one nation. Also got Arch Manning. They got a few linemen. What's up, Nature Boy? And so I look for Texas to make a uh Slav level. I don't know what my level's at. It's not very high, which is a good thing, right? I think that's a good thing. But I look for Texas and Oklahoma both. I know Oklahoma had a really high class as well. It's one of the highest classes they've had in a while. But I look for Oklahoma and Texas to make a huge leap as far as yes, their record, but also their play. And to me, I'm going to put those in two different categories. They're about to come into the SEC. So I really am excited for that, but I'm also looking at it in a sense of, are you ready? I know they have the talent to be ready. And I saw earlier where both of them had applied, to leave early, and the Big 12 apparently said no. They rejected their offer, which makes perfect sense. They're going to get the most money they can out of them. Um, but still curious to see how they look. A lot of those players that are on that team right now will be on that team whenever they come to the SEC. So might not be worried about it this coming year, but we're going to see them. Uh, Next, I'm going to go with is Alabama. A huge class. I want to say they had 9 5 stars. Well, Alabama the last 2 years. Wait, Georgia's won the last 2 years. For me, the biggest thing. Wait, did that just freeze? I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, anyways, the biggest thing for me from Alabama is seeing how well they do with a lot of these recruits coming in. I know not every single one of them is going to come in and play right away, but you just lost Jameer Gibbs, and then you lost your other running back, Trey Sanders, to, I want to say it was TCU. So you lost two running backs out of your already thin running back room. That's big to me. That's very big. Now, can Jermaine Burton play running back? I don't know. I guess we're about to find out. But I'm just curious to see how Alabama does. I want to see the leap that they take this coming year. Um, but what's up, sir, UGA? Like I said, curious to see how that goes. Auburn with the new head coach. I want to see how well they do. I think they'll be okay. They had a decent recruiting class this year, but he came in late, so it's not like he had a chance to fully recruit a lot of the players that he wanted, and that's it's fine. He'll get his excuse here where he just needs to go in and compete, which he will. He's an offensive mind, and I'm very excited to watch him work. Um, Trying to think of a few other teams with it before I get to Georgia. Florida. Florida has not had things go their way the way that maybe they want, but they still have 16 4 stars coming in, 16 or 17, which they will not be an impact right away. And that we get it. But that's a good thing if you're a Florida fan because your last coach didn't want to recruit at all. So to bring in that many guys, like that's nice. It's a good thing for Florida. I really want Florida to get back to being good because I want that rivalry to be there. It's crazy to say that the East is getting strong or is stronger now, and Florida's not a part of that. That's that's a crazy thing to say. Tennessee will be just fine from the way they looked going into their bowl game. Without the quarterback, without still were able to beat down on Clemson. Um, yeah, is it true? I won't be able to this year, BA. But I will be there next year for sure. Uh, but I'm super, like I said, super excited to see Tennessee. South Carolina. What about South Carolina doing good? That's another team. They had a crazy season this year. Had a few games where they were not that good, then had a few games where they were really good, like really good. Which is anyway, Shane Beamer doing his thing. Ended up signing the number one athlete in the nation, and he's bringing in a nice recruiting class. Look for South Carolina to look a lot better this coming year. I think we all can see that. Kentucky, still Kentucky. So I ain't worried about them. But Vanderbilt is still Vanderbilt. So excited about that. To Georgia, what I'm excited about for 2023 for the Dogs, a lot of the young guys who all had to play last year are now, getting to be experienced and play. Like it's great to have a lot of young guys playing. That's awesome. But when you start talking about talent being experienced and you're coming off a national championship, it's not like it was a few years ago, you know, well, oh, this defense is talented, or last year where you had a crazy good defense and you lost a lot of guys. I know BA, but I'll be you guys in spirit. I'll definitely be there. Um, but I'm sure I will see all of y'all, especially if we do like a slob softball game or something again, or a cookout, or bowling or something. I'll be there. I just won't be able to make this go round this early. Um, but uh, for Georgia offensively, I'm curious to see how the young guys step up on offense. I know we have experienced running backs coming back, but I want to see Branson play. I want to see all of that. I want to know if we're going to keep Todd. I want to know if we're going to be able to keep Todd Monken. I believe we will, but we have to pay him. Pay the man. Like that's fine. Do what you have to do to keep him. It's huge to see a lot of our guys at Georgia being able to do really, really big things. And I don't mean just players, but staff members. And I heard the other day they were talking about offensive line coach from a few years ago, Sam Pittman, who's now at Arkansas. We had an offensive line coach become a head coach in the SEC that quick. Like we are able to spit people out left and right according to coaches, and it's awesome that they are that prepared. Like their preparation is top notch, which just goes to show how things are done. Um, and you have to respect that whether you're a Georgia fan or not. Now, as far as Todd Monken, I feel like we could lose a D coordinator, we could lose a DB coach, we could lose a D line coach, we'd still be okay. But losing Todd Monken, it does worry me. Now, who would be behind that? Get the don't want this, but I feel like it would have to be um, Mike Bobo. What's up, Jacob Watson? I don't want it to be Mike Bobo, but then again, if this is going to be Mike Bobo 3.0 or 4.0, wherever he's been all over the place, at least he's gotten to sit behind Monken and kind of learn from him. Now, will he go back to being he was before if his Georgia fans off completely? I promise you it will. But I just I do feel we have a backup plan if Monken leaves. I'm just very curious as to this. Uh, the only thing we lack right now, though, as far as Georgia, is signing top-notch receivers. Thing we have to be able to championships, but that is something that we have always lacked. And I feel after last year with a lot of the throwing, just having a nice passing game, that will step up. Uh, Up north, I'm going to go with USC. I think they're poised to have a huge. Thank you, P Digits. I think up north, USC is poised to have a big year. coming up. They had a pretty good year this year, and I know they struggle. Not they. Lincoln Riley struggles with having a decent defense. He always has, and possibly always will. I get that, but going into year two, you had a Heisman in your first year at USC. So, and we know that. We know you're good at that. But if he can somehow create a better defense, or they somehow magically have a better defense, his team will be better. But if not, he's going to have the same exact year, which is not a bad year. But this is the plateau for Lincoln Riley. It was at Oklahoma. It might be at USC. We'll find out this coming year. Um, Next one I'm going to put on the list is, and if you guys have a team that you think is poised for a big year in 2023, you can comment it. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm not thinking about it. What's up, JC? Just let me know. Uh, Another one that I'm going to put on the list, I would think that Michigan is not going to look terrible. I think Michigan has had a couple of good years so far, like back to back to back. Now, they didn't win like Georgia did back to back, but that's not the point. The point is they look strong and they've beaten Ohio State 2 years in a row, which is huge for Michigan. Ask any Michigan fan named Nate. But I do think there's got to be a sense of urgency to get over the hump. Um, I don't understand this whole, and I may be wrong, but I do not understand when you take interviews as a head coach or like Todd Munkin taking interviews with NFL teams if that's not what you want. But when I hear, oh well, this is his second interview, it's his third interview. If that's what you want, that's fine. But to say, hey, no, I want to stay here forever, and then go out and interview three different interviews, it's like that's not you're not putting those together. It makes no sense at all. So there's got to be a price. There's got to be a something that if they give it to you, you're out. And Harbaugh, we know, has been there, every single time in that mix of interviewing for NFL jobs. Sir UGA says Michigan is recruiting high enough to be in the mix every year. I agree completely, Sir UGA, and that's my point. Michigan is poised to have a big year, but they've got to get over that hump. They've got to get over that hump of making it there and then just absolutely, you know, like the TCU Michigan game. I thought, man, that's a great game. That's an amazing game, man. Georgia, Ohio State, great game, man. Michigan, TCU, those are two great teams. And then Georgia won 65-7. And I'm like, okay, so does that mean Michigan not as good as I thought they were? Like, because that's what I'm thinking. Michigan, I thought you were pretty good until we played TCU. Now I'm like, okay, you were pretty good last year until you played Georgia. So it's not that you're terrible. It was just, that's what I'm saying. You're here. You just have to get over that hump. Next, I want to say I think Ohio State should have a good year. Now, they're not poised to make a better run than this past year because they have an amazing quarterback, like elite quarterback, who was really fun to watch. But I do think that the amount of talent that's on that team, it is going to be easy for them to sustain the level of play they've been playing at. All literally, you put a good quarterback, an average quarterback in that offense with the 5-star running backs and the 5 stars. I mean, you got 47 5-star receivers. Like an average quarterback should be able to have a good season there. So I don't know how well this next up quarterback will be, but we'll find out. Back to Tennessee's, I think Tennessee's quarterback is going to be really good. Now, was Tennessee's quarterback from this past year? I don't know why I forget his name. My mind is going blank. But was he good? Yes, he was good. He was very good. But he was also only under Heupel for 2 years. So now imagine a quarterback that's able to get in and take his time and learn the system. We saw, like I said, we saw what he did against Clemson. I feel he is going to have an electrifying year coming up. So yeah, Hendon Hooker. I think the new quarterback for Tennessee is going to do very, very well. I really, really believe that. Um, and a lot of those guys believe. A lot of those guys at Tennessee, like that's the one thing you've already done at Tennessee in these first 2 years. You've changed the culture / mindset. You've gotten guys to believe. That's tough. It's tough getting guys to believe. Like, I mean, think about it. Like Vanderbilt How hard would it be to get them to believe? Tennessee was trash for a long, long time. Tennessee was trash even though they had the Hail Mary against Georgia to beat them a few years back. Like they've been not good for a long time. Same thing with Shane Beamer. South Carolina, changing the mindset, changing the culture. Like that's something that I very much respect when it comes to sports are coaches who can get players to change their mindset. And sometimes it takes coaches longer than others, and sometimes it takes too long, and you don't have a job anymore. Um, can we think of another team? I'm trying to go to like I want to say Penn State, but I think I'm just saying Penn State because I feel like I should, but I'm not going to. They consistently never get over the hump, and I'm not giving them that. Um, TCU, I don't know. That is a question mark. TCU had a hot year this year. Like he was great. TCU had a hot year this year. Like their coach, it was a great year. And yes, they're losing a few pieces, but they are bringing in a lot of pieces. And I know you may build your team through the transfer portal. That is 1,000% correct. But you can make it better. And bringing in an offensive lineman that was at Bama, okay, yeah, he couldn't play at Bama. Well, that's because everybody at Bama is good. So that's fine. But I promise you, everybody at TCU would not play at Bama. That's fine. Bringing in an offensive lineman. You're bringing in Trey Sanders, a 5-star running back, who, if I'm correct, was the number one or number two running back coming out of high school. Like TCU is going to look nice. I just can they put together another hot year? We'll see. So that's the question mark with them. Um, Texas A&M and Miami are on my. I'm going to watch as many of the games this coming year as I can, because I'm not against NIL at all. But both of these teams have gone out of their way to, I mean, to NIL it up, and that's fine. But I'm very curious to see, is Texas A&M in year 3 or 4 of let's pay for our players? Are they going to go up, or are they going to continue to be the same? Paying for players, paying all that money to be below average. That's unacceptable. But Miami, I feel, has a better chance of getting over that hump of we used NIL, but we're also getting better. We're not just expecting the players to go out and do that. P digits, you being funny. Um, so I think Cristobal will do okay. But then again, it all goes back to, and I know Slim would say this as well. They fired their offensive coordinator, so now not only did last year's team have a few months to get ready and get the offense installed and get them ready to go, now this year's team is going to have to do the same thing. They have not hired an offense yet. What offense are you? What are you doing? Are you literally? Are you just hanging out? Are you like? I don't understand. I don't understand what the goal is at Miami when you fire coaches, because yes, the turnaround, but you never have time to install a system. Like you never have time to get that down. So, anyways, NIL. I'm curious to see how that goes. And I'm like I said, you guys can bring up a team if you can think of it who's poised to have a big year for next year. But the last team that I can think of, and I may be wrong, is Colorado. Um, no, Nate. I mean, we were that's what we were talking about earlier. Like I agree, I do agree, but I think Colorado to me, yes, of course, it's Dion. I get it. It's prime time, all that, social media, all I get it. But to bring in a lot of players through the transfer portal, to sign a lot of players, out of high school that look really good, I do think they will be better than last year, yes. But it's not Dion that I'm giving all the credit to. They hired Kent State's head coach, who was an amazing X's and O's guy, and did great with he overachieved with the lesser talented team that he had. And so now him being at Colorado and being able to have better talent, that's what I'm curious of. And I know it may take more than a year to put it together, but if he gets things going the way that he was, they're going to give people ball games. And we can say, oh, well, they still lost this many games. I, I promise you, he's going to give people fits. And that's what I'm excited about. He's his first year. You said Colorado. Are they going to be 500? Now, look, I know my screen keeps freezing on YouTube, but y'all can still hear me, right? My voice isn't freezing. I hope not. But I'm going to say yes, P digits, but I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't. Because there's like these people out here like, oh, they're gonna win 8 games. Like, bro, stop. Like, have you seen their schedule? Like these dudes, they play really good teams. And they play teams that are way more equipped than they are. So um anyways, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm excited to watch a lot of this. I'm excited to see where things go. Um, I mean, like you have Florida versus Utah to begin the season, and Florida's not as strong. Florida's what is it? They've lost 3 quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson. They lost the kid that was rapping that said the word, and then the other kid that's in jail. They lost 3 quarterbacks in a span of what, a month, 2 months? Yeah, like they are without. Like that's so. Anyways, a lot of teams that are in trouble, and I think Florida's one of them. Vanderbilt, they're never in trouble because you don't expect anything out of Vanderbilt. Um, I think Arkansas, not that they're in trouble, but they need to have a good year because they have started to go a little downhill. They had a few years where they were hot, uh, and then I'm trying to think of another school. That's it. Oklahoma State and Oregon State. I think those are two that a year ago or 2 years ago I would have said, okay, they're on the up. Now they're going down. So few teams going up. I wish I'd have made a chart that showed the teams going up, like a golden blue dude chart. We had like these teams going up and then these teams going down, and then me in the middle checking my thick skin. But I didn't think about it. I didn't have time to create a thumbnail. Um, but I'm gonna videos. We're kind of going into the playoffs with my real life. Our basketball team going into the playoffs. We're doing really good. We have really high chance of achieving what we want to achieve, which is good. But what kind of videos would you guys like to see? Would you like to see me breaking down stats of, these teams that we're talking about now from last year? Would you like to see me talking about players coming back for these teams? Would you like to see me go through schedule previews of some of these teams? What would be more along the lines of, what would you want to hear? You tell me. What's up, Bet? Uh Look better in khakis. I P digits. I do agree. I do agree. Um, Sir UGA. Yes, facts, bro. But uh, yeah, I want to hear from you guys. What would be something that you would want to hear more than anything else? Uh, Hold on, real quick. I'm on a live stream right now, sir. Huh? I'm live. Yeah, I'm on stream right now. Jump in the comment section. Jump in the comment section. Yeah, I'm live. I'm on like actual YouTube, not on the game. All right, I'll call you back in a bit. All right, bye. No, that was Papa Shrimp. But yeah, man, I want y'all to, like I said, I want you to tell me. I'm being for real, and I don't mind making randoms on all three. But would you like to see videos on what players NIL has gotten Texas A&M and Miami? Would you like to see schedule breakdowns? Would you like to see you know um, well, it just I don't know. Like I said, tell me. If y'all lose in the first round of y'all's playoffs, would you be able to go to the Slav Olympics? See, there you go. That's a good question, JC. That is a very good question. I do not know, sir, UGA. I do not. Uh, I need to. Is that what we need to do? Do we need to hit up? No, no, he's back now. Bet. Uh, let's call. Let's call that man fishing. Let's see what he's doing. Got a few minutes before Lou's stream starts, so I want to try to wrap it up, but we will see if we can get Fishing Man on here. Do you need a donation to make Sir UGA? I appreciate it, big dog, but I won't take it. Big dog, I'm on live stream right now, so but I'm calling you because they wanted me to call you.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah, so what you doing right now?
Just sitting here with Kelly.
Okay. Well, I was telling them what we did is we kind of went through teams that. Let me know if y'all can hear Fishing okay. If you can't, I'm gonna invite him to the stream. Okay. But what we did is we kind of went through teams that are poised to have a good, a big year going into 2023, and I'll get your opinion on it. But I went through and it was, you know, like your these are the main teams. I'm curious to see how Texas A&M and Miami do because of the whole NIL deal, or NIL in general. And I think with Texas A&M, they have kind of like they're sputtering right now to have all that talent. It's crazy to see them not doing anything. But Miami, they're still in that stage of we just got it. We just now got this. And it's like, are you going to do something with it? But no, guys, he's not with his girl. He's with his dog's name is Callie. That's what he's. They heard that and they thought you meant you're with your girl.
Nah.
But yeah, anyways, that's what I was saying. But then again, like Slim was saying, Miami just fired their offensive coordinator. And I get you were not a big fan of Josh Gaddis, but at the same time, you learned an offense for just a few months and then went right into the season. Well, now they have not even hired a new offensive coordinator yet. Like at what point do you say, bro, like we've got to have something installed for more than just 6 months at a time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what are they doing? And if they were going to do that, they should have done it right at the end of the year.
That's what I said.
Season. I mean, you wait this long, now you're screwed. I mean, because spring practice is about to start.
Yeah. What offense are you running in spring practice that you were going to run going into the season? They run an offense, but then you hire somebody, and then it's like, oh, their offense is different. So now your spring practice is worthless.
And they have no quarterback either. So it's like
that's true.
You have no identity at all right now. Like if you're there, like what are you thinking?
Well, bet he just kind of threw it out there. Bill O'Brien going to the U because he got fired from Alabama. I wouldn't be surprised. Like you said what though?
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I mean, you have to think that they fired him on purpose, having something else lined up. You would think. I mean, I don't know though.
Oh, you talking about Gaddis? Yes, yeah. Agreed. I agree. That was like I said. That was kind of my thing. Was well, and then away from I brought up the whole USC, like how they're doing. So UJ, I'll get with you. I think he does. Yes. But you got USC. They had a good year this year. It's his first year there. Dude created a Heisman, but we're not surprised because he's done that. That's his forte is creating Heismans, having great quarterbacks. But this is his plateau. And it was his whole time at Oklahoma. Will it be at USC? We're about to find out.
If they don't get a defense, it will be.
Yes. And that's somebody brought that up in the chat earlier, and it's like, that's true. You could go on creating Heisman after Heisman and still falling short every season. And it almost makes me wonder, is he trying to get an NFL job or like as an offensive coordinator, or is he really trying?
No. I mean, I think he's stubborn. I mean, like we talked about this before, but he brought the same defensive coordinator from Oklahoma, and he could have went out and got anybody he wanted.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, he's kind of like you're doing it to yourself at this point.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to feel. I can't feel sorry for him.
No. And they're going to be good because they're going to score a lot of points, but as far as breaking the plateau, like you said about the playoffs and everything.
And
Yeah.
another one, I got two I brought up. One was Michigan, and I was like, I really, really I enjoy seeing Michigan do well, and I've seen them have a strong class, over the years, but they can't get over the hump. And this year, I was like, man, when after that TCU game, you had Georgia versus Ohio State, TCU, Michigan. I'm like, bro, those are great games. Man, Michigan looks strong, bro. TCU was just too strong. And then Georgia mollywops them, and I'm like, wait, we said this last year. Man, Michigan's really strong. And then Georgia mollywop Michigan. And it was like, okay, you were strong until you played Michigan. Michigan this year, you were strong until TCU played Georgia. Like,
yeah, exactly.
so when is that? When do you get over the hill type? So, like I said, bringing up like little scenarios. Also throughout there, Oklahoma having a high recruiting class this year. That's great for Venables, because he's first year, but now he's bringing in a bunch of players that he wants that fit his system. Uh, you got Texas NIL very well this year. They got AD Mitchell from Georgia. They got the number one running back in the nation. They got Arch Manning. Like, bro, they they've got, you know what I'm saying? They've got a good bit, but I feel Texas is going to do more with their NIL players than Texas A&M.
I completely agree. I mean, Texas needs to win the Big 12 this year.
Oh, that would be a statement. That'd be a huge statement. That would be a very huge statement, just to show we know what we're doing. Like,
especially with Oklahoma being down, like you have to win the Big 12.
agreed. Yeah, because with Venables there and them having that class they had this year, they're not gonna be down for long.
Yeah, if Venables is the guy, then yeah, they're not gonna be down for long.
Agreed. Another one I was excited about. These two I actually am excited about. One, South Carolina and Shane Beamer. Dude had a crazy year last year. A few games he played terrible, but then a few games where it was like, bro, you guys look great. Like, especially those last two games. What was it? Clemson and who was it that they beat the brakes off? And Tennessee. Yeah, it was like, bro, who is this? And then he goes out, signs the top 10 class this year, and you're thinking, what you got, what you doing over there, Shane? Like,
and you saw that they got the athlete in the country.
Yes, dude.
I mean, and they came out of nowhere and got him. I mean, Michigan was on him for the whole year. Michigan was on that kid.
South Carolina wasn't even in the top 3.
Nope.
That is wild to think. And then last one, and then we'll end it because I know Lou's about to go live. Auburn and Hugh Freeze. That one I'm so excited to watch because I really do think Hugh Freeze is a good coach. He might not be off the field good at everything, whatever goes on, but I do believe he is a good X's and O's guy, and he's a really good recruiter. Like, he gets the guys he wants that fits his system.
So. Yeah, I think Auburn's going to start getting better too. It's going to take him a minute though. He hasn't screwed up lately though. So I mean,
agreed.
You got to give him a little bit of credit. So I mean, if he can just keep his head straight, I mean, and just build the program, I think Auburn will be a lot better too.
I think of Hugh Freeze and what I remember about him. He was the guy where everybody's like, "How do you have 5, 6'5" receivers, bro?" Like, he's that guy. Like, he recruits what he wants, and if he's doing that at Auburn right now, especially in the time of NIL, it may get scary. Like,
hey, I heard something about him the other day. It was like a month ago.
Go ahead.
He said the first thing he does when he recruits players is asking to see his ankle.
Yeah, I did hear that. So, long story short, for him, it's a way of he likes to see players with strong ankles because when he sees them on the field and they're quick and they're like, scatty, that it shows him that they can sustain that. Like like your Christian McCaffreys. Like they said, his calf muscles and his ankles, like he's strong as crap.
Yeah, he said he looks at their ankles, and if I don't know what he goes by, but he said he's never been wrong about players being really, really fast when he sees a certain type of ankle, which is really weird, but that's what he says.
So do you think he's on Feet Finder? Would you like to come? Would you like to?
Ankle finder.
Would you like to come play football at Auburn? Yeah, my Cash App is.
Let me see them ankles.
Yes, yeah. Let me see them. But anyways, my dude, thank you. I'm gonna listen to Lou's show. I'm gonna work out a little bit, turn that on, and then if I'm still up tonight, we may do another stream right after. All right, sounds good, my dog. Appreciate you, dude.
All right, man.
All right, see you, dude. Okay, there you have it. Thank you, people. I'm going to try to do more streams when I can, get it in when I can. I'm going to try to do some more videos. I'll try to record some tonight during Lou's stream while I'm listening to it. I believe it, say you, GA. And really just try to, maintain getting some stuff out while a lot of the craziness is going on and, being busy with sports and stuff. So, yeah, we got this though. We TB's back on the grind. Love y'all. And yeah, peace out. Thing hit TB Tiger Baskins at